Hello, this is Nemesis for Pony4 I have another review for you guys. This is the Queen Chrysalis versus Spike the Dragon set for Guardians of Harmony. And as you can see, there's Queen Chrysalis and Spike the Dragon. Of course, I'm going to start here with Spike for a bit. Well, you see, the thing is, Spike is a figurine who cannot move at all. He's stuck in this pose. There is zero posability. He is a figurine. This one has several paint splotches, I'm noticing, just all over the place. There's just little splotches on his paint. I mean, the silver on the armor is picked out real nice. But yeah, there's like a silver splotch on the cape. There's a green splotch on his cheek. There's a weird dark splotch right here on his ear fin thing. And there's a splotch, or I think that's paint that came off on the lance. The lance is also, you can see, kind of bent a little because it's rubbery plastics, so you can't jab someone with it and hurt them too much. And there's another splotch right there on the cape, and it's just there's kind of it's an alright looking figure, except for the paint splotches are kind of like oops. He's got peg holes, I guess, if you have a stand, although he doesn't really need it because he's pretty. You can see he's pretty stable as it stands, so it's not like going anywhere. The cape helps as a kind of a help balance him out. But he looks nice, but he doesn't really do much, unfortunately. The main draw of this, of course, is, well, Chrysalis. And she, well, again, she looks great. I do like that they actually managed with her little, whatever this is. They managed to do the little bit of the fade effect, so it's got the darker greens, bluish green up here, and then it fades to this much more, I guess, sickly green stuff. They pick out that enough. Her eyes are well picked out. I do like the wings, how they got the translucent and everything. She's got posability. Her wings are on ball joints, so they can twist around, they can move up and down, whatnot. Her hind legs can move forward and back, and that's it. There's no knee or outward motion. The tail can move, but it's on a spring, so it'll always snap back. The front legs, they got full shoulders, so they got pin discs. They can move outward, they can move forward and back, whatnot. They can rotate around, all sorts of stuff. The knees, there are knees in the front, although they're limited, so you got about that far. They can bend about that far forward, and then you can bend that far forward, that far back, and that's about it. There is also rotation at the knee as well, if you need it. The head is on a joint, however, there's a spring on it, and I'll get to that in a bit. So you're kind of limited with that posability right there. There's a spring on here, so you can only really have it forward like this, looking down. Other thing is, mine has to have a flaw. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the nice paint for the underbelly here for the green. That actually looks really nice too. The other thing, if you look, these hind legs, they are not exactly even. They are looks like something got bent, because it looks like they should be out here, but, well, they're not, unfortunately. She can still stand, as you can, she can still stand more or less okay, as long as you can get the legs positioned correctly. If you get the legs positioned correctly, she more or less stands, but it's still kind of annoying that the legs are bent like that, and so she can't get a flat foot pose. But she does come with several accessories, one of which is just the little clip-on shield badge thing they have. Just open that up and it'll clip on to stuff. You can clip them onto the figures themselves, or just, you're supposed to also clip them onto like your bag or whatever. But yeah, it's a kind of nice little thing. But yeah, nothing really big deal. She does have armor. These little green things, they go on her front legs. They kind of, soft plastic, so they just kind of split them apart and just kind of move the leg in. Same with this side, just split the plastic apart and slide the leg in. And she's got her front armor. She's also got this mask helmet thing she's about to fall over, and that's another problem with the hind legs. Yeah, she got this mask thing, which has these little fang tusk things, and they translucent plastic, so for the eyes. And again, this is just soft rubber, so just kind of you spread it out and just slip it over her head. The thing is, because of it feels like it's missized, so it looks a little wide, but she can wear it. I don't like having her wear it though. I just like to leave it off. I think it looks better without it off. It doesn't look, in my opinion, doesn't look great. She also has these 2 sword knife things, which has always been an interesting thing. It's like, how do ponies wield swords? Well, apparently they use clips. I don't know. They're identical. There are, again, they get there's a little bit of paint transfer here on the blade, and but they have green handles and stuff, which again, handles. But yeah, they just clip on over you can clip them on over the leg and slide them down to make them tight. And I guess that's how they wield swords here. You can do that on both sides. So yeah, she can wield those, rawr. So just stab a Spike in the eye or whatever. But the other thing is she's got these little wheels, which is why Trixie isn't here. But yeah, these little things, which are very silly. I think they're supposed to be like magic energy balls or something. Anyway, that's why the head springs like that. That it's the whole point is they're a launcher. So I'm going to raise the camera up and try to show this a little bit. It's not the greatest, but the whole thing is there's this little rod sticking out to the side, and you're supposed to hook that into the little hook on her horn like this, and then you're supposed to pull back on the head, and yeah, it's not the greatest. It doesn't fit very well. It sits crooked, and yeah, it doesn't go very far. It works somewhat, but honestly, if it was up to me, I would much rather have full-blown head posability over that rather than the gimmick. I'd rather lose the gimmick and have like a head being able to turn and nod and all that stuff. But that's not what they did. This was like, what was it, $15, I think, for this set, and it's kind of like Chrysalis looks cool, and she can pose. Like I like to have her on my shelf. I like to have it pose. She's kind of, posed with the helmet underneath like that, and Spike like all ready to try to fight her, even though he has 0 chance. Because to be honest, this is kind of a one-sided fight. It looks nice. The posability is kind of limited. Spike can't move at all. Chrysalis has limited posability, particularly with the head is on a spring and everything. But also mine, the legs are crooked for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but yeah, the legs are bent, and I'm not sure if that was intentional, if I need something to fix it, and possibly something in the box. So it's kind of nice, but it's not super great. I think some of the other Guardians of Harmony stuff I have is a little better. I talked about the Twilight on the podcast, and I think that overall it's kind of better because the posability is better. This one was kind of, the problem is they sacrificed the posability for the sake of the gimmick, which isn't even that great in particular. The spring kind of sucks, so it doesn't go very far, and it looks a little silly in the first place. I understand what they're trying to do, but it doesn't look that great. I honestly think that they should have they just shouldn't have had the gimmick. Instead, should have just had more posability for Chrysalis. It would have been a lot better, but it's still more or less good looking. Again, you can get into some nice poses, somewhat nice poses. The mask is a little silly looking on her mask helmet thing. The armor's, the leg armor's okay. The blades are actually kind of neat. In themselves, I actually do like the blades. I think that's actually a pretty neat idea. So you can get some good poses. It looks nice. You can play with it a bit, but the gimmick itself, really, either they need to do it better or just cut it entirely. I would either prefer a pure quote unquote action figure, or just remove or make the gimmick way better, or actually useful. Possibly like have actual like launching system that doesn't get caught on the plastic itself, and yeah, better spring probably, but I'm pretty sure some sort of safety standard prevents them from putting a better spring in there. But it's okay-ish. I'd only say at $15, I'd say only get it if you're like a really big Chrysalis fan or something. If you can find it cheaper, yeah, sure. But at $15, only if you're a really big Chrysalis fan or something. I mean, I really like Chrysalis, so I'm good. That's the reason I bought it. But it's kind of not the greatest figure in the first place. But it's something, at least. It's a decent figure. Just it could have been better, and I feel like they put something in they shouldn't have. So yeah, that's how I feel about this. I hope it was helpful for you, and I'll see you next time.